In a land far beyond the hills, where the trees whispered secrets to the wind and the rivers sang songs of old, there lived a tortoise. He was not just any tortoise. He was clever, cleverer than most. But his cleverness was not always his strength, for it was paired with something else, something less noble: pride. The tortoise lived alone on the ground, while flocks of birds soared in the skies above. He often watched them with envy as they dipped and danced in the breeze, their wings slicing through clouds like blades through silk. He longed to join them, not just to fly, but to be admired, to be envied, to be celebrated. One day, the birds gathered in excitement. There was to be a grand feast in the heavens, hosted by the Sky Kingdom, a celebration where all birds were invited. Food would be abundant, music would fill the air, and tales would be told from across the world. The tortoise saw his chance. He approached the birds with a plan. "Friends," he said smoothly, "you must take me with you. I too have stories to share and wisdom to offer. Why should a feast of the sky exclude the knowledge of the earth?" The birds hesitated. Tortoise could not fly, but he was persuasive, and above all, he flattered them well. He praised the eagle's strength, the parrot's colors, and the dove's kindness. And one by one, the birds began to agree. Each bird contributed a feather, and soon the tortoise had a patchwork of wings, a magnificent cloak of colors and grace. He looked at himself and smiled. He had never looked so grand. With great effort and the help of the wind, the tortoise rose into the sky. It was exhilarating. Above the clouds, the world was different. There were no trees to block the view, no predators to fear, just open skies and the songs of wings. When they arrived at the feast, the tortoise had another idea. He turned to the birds and said, "Before we eat, we must choose names fit for this occasion. I shall go by the name All of You." The birds, amused and not suspecting a trick, agreed. The feast began. Platters of seeds, fruits, and honeycombs floated on golden leaves. A sky peacock brought a bowl of wind-blown berries. A hummingbird passed a cup of nectar. And as each dish was set down, the host called out, "This is for all of you." The tortoise, smiling, stepped forward. "That would be me," he said. "I am all of you." He ate the first dish. "This next one is for all of you," came another host. Tortoise stepped in again. "Ah, still me." And so it went. Every time the food was announced, the tortoise claimed it as his own. The birds watched in growing disbelief. But the host had said the name, and the tortoise had taken it. By the end of the feast, the tortoise was full. The birds were furious, and worse, embarrassed. They had been tricked. When the feast was over, the birds took back their feathers, every single one. The tortoise was left with nothing. He looked down. The earth was too far away. He had no way to fly back. And so he pleaded, "Send word to my wife. Tell her to spread soft things across the ground, blankets, grasses, leaves. I will jump." Reluctantly, the birds agreed, but they sent a different message. They told the tortoise's wife to place hard things such as stones, pots, and sharp branches. She obeyed, and when the tortoise leapt from the sky, expecting a soft landing, he crashed down with a terrible crack. His shell shattered. It is said that from that day on, the tortoise's shell was never smooth again. It bore the marks of his pride and fall, a web of scars, like broken porcelain glued back together. This story, simple as it may seem, is a timeless reminder of an all-too-human trait, the desire to be admired at any cost. The tortoise had intelligence, but he let it be guided not by humility, not by wisdom, but by pride. He sought recognition, not truth. He deceived others for his gain and lost everything. We live in a world today that rewards appearances, social approval, applause, followers, and fame. These are the feathers we sometimes borrow to fly higher than we are ready to. We may even change our names, our images, our stories, just to be seen. But the cost of false pride is always greater than it first appears. The tortoise could have enjoyed the feast. He could have flown with friends. He could have shared in joy. But he chose to hoard praise meant for many. And in doing so, he lost the very things that lifted him. There's also another layer to this tale, the role of the birds. Yes, they were deceived, but once they saw the truth, they took back what was theirs. They acted, They corrected the balance. This reminds us that wisdom is not just about avoiding deception. It's also about recognizing when we've enabled it and having the courage to step away. Why is this story important to you? Because it asks a question few people are willing to ask themselves. Am I trying to rise through my own effort and honesty, or am I borrowing feathers that aren't mine? It invites reflection on our motivations, the masks we wear, the way we treat those who help us. And it warns us gently. The higher you rise through pride, the harder you fall. But it's not a tale of doom. It's a mirror that says you can choose differently. You can build wings of your own. You can share in joy without stealing the spotlight. The scars on the tortoise's back are not just punishment. They are memories. They are a lesson etched in his very being. And that, too, is hopeful. For even those who fall can rise again if they carry wisdom in place of ego. So tonight, or today, whenever this story finds you, ask yourself, what feathers am I wearing? What name have I taken? And when the feast is called for all of you, will I step aside and share, or step forward and take? The tortoise's shell may be cracked, but the lesson is whole. And now, so are you.